Hey Tommy, why are we taking two identical GMC trucks off-road? I mean, this is an AT4X, this is an AT4X. Not much of a comparison.
Aha, well Dad, that's where you're wrong, because this is the AT4X AEV, and this truck is 15 grand more than Pumpkin, our orange standard AT4X. So what are we gonna find out?
We're gonna find out whether a snorkel is worth 15K.
Oh, it's not just a snorkel.
Tommy, I think we should do 3 classic TFL obstacles to compare these two trucks.
Okay.
So let's start with the Razor Rocks.
Sounds good.
Then we'll go to Truth and Dare.
Yep.
And then to compare Breakover, we'll do Sawtooth.
Cool.
In terms of off-road capability, they should be very close. They're both triple locked. They both have underbody skid plates. Of course, the red truck has boron skid plates.
Yeah, I mean...
And a few extra ones.
And look, they're both running technically the same rubber, although the red truck has larger tires. But I think in the real world, we might see a difference, especially because the Ironclads is very much a clearance trail, and that red truck just has more clearance. So first we're going up the steps. Do you think we're gonna make the steps in the standard AT4X without scraping?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, I think the approach and departure and breakover on this truck is so good that...
So here comes the hardest one.
We're about to find out. Oh, nothing smashed into it.
You ready?
Yeah.
It would be now. No, it was fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one thing I'm a little disappointed in is that they both have the same powertrain.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool if they gave that red truck a little bit more oomph.
Good luck, my man.
All right, so the Razor Rocks are these incredibly sharp, pointy, jagged rocks that get harder and harder and harder each and every year. And we're almost to the point where a stock vehicle is not going to be able to traverse them. But these aren't just any stock vehicles. Both of these trucks are really, really, really special, and we've seen some amazing things out of these Canyons in the past. So I'm going to start with just the rear locker on, and then if I need it, I'll click on the front. I think I might need it. My dad's giving me some direction here. Climb, GMC, climb. Give it a little bit of 2-foot action. There's that rear locker doing its magic. Now we're going to start going way off kilter here. Left rear is about 6 feet in the air. This is where it's going to get interesting. So don't want to go too fast through this section because we will slam bottom. There's that underside, Dad. Woo! But it made it look easy.
Now this is a hard obstacle, Tommy, and this truck made it look easy. Now there is something I'm worried about with the AEV truck.
What's that?
On your approach to the Razor Rocks, you maybe had about that much, maybe an inch.
To the bumper?
To the bumper, yeah.
Okay.
So we might be scraping the bumper.
Interesting to see if we can clear it, but we'll take it slow in that brand new press truck. But so far, the standard one has proven that it's really, really capable. And like I said, that's an obstacle that may not look crazy on camera, but most people aren't going to put their $50,000 plus truck into that kind of position. So the fact that this truck was able to do that like that.
You know the magic is.
What's that? Oh, you know what it was?
Airing down.
We did air down. And I also clicked on front and rear.
Oh.
I thought I had just on the rear, but I clicked on the front at the same time.
That's all right. Look, the rule is don't get stuck.
Sure.
Right. I know it looks dramatic on camera, but when somebody has to come and rescue you because you decided not to use all the truck's capability to not get stuck,
yeah,
then you're going to regret it. But I'm happy. This is our truck. I think it was a good investment. All right, up to Truth or Dare.
So what exactly are the differences between the standard AT4X and the AEV? Let's find out. Our orange AT4X here has a standard plastic front bumper with a skid plate hiding way down here.
However, this AEV has a metal bumper that, Tommy, is made of boron steel. You know what that is?
No.
That's steel that's made of boron.
Very cool.
It's supposed to be harder, more resistant to bashing. But the one downside to this bumper is you kind of missed the cutout that you have over there.
That's right. The standard AT4X has this cool little wheel cutout for some added approach angle. Both these trucks have the same make and model of tires, so it's a Goodyear Wrangler Territory MT, but on the standard truck, it's a 33.
The AEV truck has 35s and these really cool, well, it says GMC Celta wheels, but they're AEV Celta wheels. This should give it a little bit more ride height, which we will measure.
Now, if we look at the clearance on the standard AT4X, it's right around 14.5 inches to the bottom of the rock rail. Now, granted, my measuring system here is not super precise, but same place on the AEV. It's right around 17 inches. This video is brought to you by Onyx Off-Road, and if you guys want to come out and have some fun in Colorado, or practically anywhere in North America, Onyx Off-Road is the app for you. You can find the best trails in your area, find the best offline camping spots, and know exactly what you're getting into. Use the link below, code TFL Offroad for a discount.
Tommy, here's a fun fact. You remember the previous generation of Canyon and Colorado?
Yeah.
It also had an AEV edition.
Sure, yeah, for sure.
But it only came with 33s. And I was talking to the owner of AEV, and he told me, this was on our podcast actually, the reason they couldn't do it is that they would have had to put a bigger chain on the transfer case. And that would have meant redesigning the entire transfer case.
Yeah.
And that would have cost GM a minimum of $20 million.
Oh my God.
So they could not go, even though they wanted to, they could not go with 35s on the last gen AEV, Canyon, and Colorado.
Well, this one's got the big tires on it, and immediately, like, you step from truck to truck, and it feels like you just got into a modified truck. It feels significantly taller from the driver's seat, which is interesting because usually with some of these off-road packs, they don't feel that different, but the seating position immediately feels different in this AEV version. Now, Dad, here's the thing about both these trucks. I love off-roading these AT4Xs. Same thing with ZR2s. These new trucks are so capable. The one thing I don't like about them is they're sprung way too stiff. They're really, really, really stiff off-road. So let me kind of explain what that means. They have a really expensive shock absorber, right? These DSSVs. And the damping control is incredible. But the springs themselves kind of beat you up. So I wish you could get one of these trucks with a softer spring that's a little bit more floaty. That's the one thing the Raptor had on this truck.
First gen Raptor, Tommy.
First gen Raptor, that was floaty.
Raptor. That was like a 1970s Lincoln Continental going down the road.
We got to bring up the float. And like the thing is, you pretty much, in my opinion, because I'm a 95-year-old man, you have to air these things down to do any kind of off-roading. Not necessarily for traction, but just because they beat you up so hard if you don't. So that's my big complaint with both these trucks.
You know what I love about these trucks?
What you got?
They've got the ultimate flex, and that is red seatbelts, my man.
Yes, they got red seatbelts. That's true.
I'll make sure you don't bash the front bumper. I'll let you know if you're good to go, okay?
Okay, sounds good. So just like the last time, where I thought I had my rear diff, but I actually had both diffs locked, I've gone ahead and locked both diffs in this AT4X AEV. Let me go to my front cameras here. The cameras on these trucks are incredible as well. I'm going to try to even match my tire tracks so we can keep it as even as possible. There we go. Let's see if we have the front end clearance. It's going up. She's climbing. These Goodyear tires, by the way, very impressed with the amount of grip that these things offer. Oh, it does feel a little tippier than the orange truck. That's where that maybe added height isn't an advantage. There we go, leveling out a little bit there. And last time we did just scrape the underside. Let's see if we can get away with not scraping on this red truck. Come on, come on. Oh yeah, look at that. No scrape.
No scrape.
So that added clearance does have an advantage at the top, but even though this is a little bit wider track, it did feel quite a bit tippier.
Yeah, the thing that really was a little bit of a heart pounder, you were like maybe 2 millimeters from testing out the boron steel against the Razor Rock.
I know.
So close.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's kind of interesting. Like I think that the front end clearance is better in this truck overall, but on the corners, having those little cutouts of the standard one is an advantage. Both these trucks have the same 2.7 liter turbo with 310 horsepower, but you can see the air intake difference. On the standard truck, the intake is here, and then the little feeder tube enters right around here by the headlight.
On the AEV truck, the air intake, well, you can tell it's completely different. There's this AEV part right there, which is the important one because it connects to this AEV snorkel, which gives you a higher air intake, which presumably gives you cleaner air.
Things are super different at the back of these trucks. Now the standard orange truck here has the Multimatic spool valve DSSV. It's 1 damper per side, and then the spare tire is full size. It lives underneath the bed back here, but it's not a matching wheel. You actually see it's a steel wheel, and then if you look at the rear differential, it's pretty exposed and open.
The biggest difference that you can see, of course, is that in the AEV truck, the spare tire and matching wheel is mounted in the bed, and that's, I think, because it's a 35 and it won't fit underneath the truck. Back here, you've got an AEV bumper, metal, with recovery points, and of course the biggest difference is under there, where you have now 2 dampers per side instead of 1. And here's something interesting, Tommy. This black plastic molding is different than our truck, and that's because I think this has a wider stance.
For sure, and it's got more underbody protection. For example, if you crawl underneath there, you can see this rear diff is wearing a diaper, so you get a little bit of added protection.
So I would say that this is probably, outside of a Gladiator, the most off-road worthy mid-sized truck you could buy. It may even be more off-road worthy than the Gladiator, because you can't get 35s from the factory in a Gladiator.
Yeah, I mean, if you compare this to Ranger, Raptor, the Toyota offerings, the Gladiator, this is the most tire, front and rear locking differentials, plus all the AEV protection. I think this is about as good as you can get.
A little behind the scenes, Tommy.
Yeah, what you got?
Well, we're here at the end of October, and we've already got snow in Colorado.
I know, it's so depressing. It means that our trails are about to shut down.
Yeah, really, some of the world's best off-roading, but only like 4 months worth.
Yeah, exactly right.
The good news is we get to go to Moab now.
Yeah, but even they get some trails that shut down because of the snow, especially in the mountains.
All right, so Tommy, truth or dare? You pick.
I still think we should do dare,
Yeah, I think so too.
because I think it's going to be harder.
Yeah.
I've gone ahead and turned all the lockers off, made sure they're off, and we're going to try this rock here, Dan.
You know what I love about this truck?
What do you got?
I love the fact that it's got 4 auto. You know, the Tremor that we recently bought, which costs more than this, by the way, doesn't have 4 auto.
Sure, yeah.
I also love just how easy it is to turn lockers on and off, and how easy it is to go from 4 high to 2 high. It's just a click of a button, basically.
Yeah, it's all super self-explanatory. There is different off-road modes, so you do have terrain mode, Baja mode, and then off-road mode as well.
Yeah, I've never understood the difference between terrain and
off-road. Yeah, they don't seem to have that big of an impact on the way the truck performs off-road. But it's crazy how many different off-road trims GMC has on this single truck. So you've got your normal Canyon, then you've got the AT4, which is kind of tires, mild skid plates, and a G80 rear locker. Then you've got the AT4X, which is big suspension changes, selectable locking differentials, big skid plates. And then you've got the AEV, which is everything plus the kitchen sink. So you've got a huge amount of selection within the GMC lineup as to what you need. But look at that, we just went up there, no issue whatsoever. This thing absolutely rocked it.
Let me show you something. You like that? Here. Want to show them that? That's my favorite feature.
But I never use it.
So this...
But I just don't know how that's
wait, watch
useful.
this. This is the most fun.
I know, you
watch.
wash it off.
Look at that. How cool is that? An underbody camera.
I mean, it's a cool idea in theory, but I've yet to find a really practical application.
Well, we'll find out right now when you go over Sawtooth. That's why I brought it up, because we'll see. Actually, you should go over the other way.
Yeah. All right, so Sawtooth here is our ground clearance test. It's a big jagged rock. Let's see if we can make it over in the orange truck without scraping.
All right, nice and slow. Keep going. Let's see if you drop down. You're about to hit. Slow. Oh, just touched it.
Yep, just a little tap there.
Just a little tap.
Yeah, I bet that the AEV will be able to do that without hitting it all.
All right, I'm gonna mark where we went over.
Yeah, go ahead and put a little rock there.
So this is where we went over. Right there. So we'll see if the AEV can do better than that. I think it's time to get in the red truck. I think we have to go dare again, Tommy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Now, look, the camera makes everything look flat.
Yep.
But this is definitely harder than it looks. And I would encourage any of you out there who think you could do this in your Civic to come out here and give it a shot.
Oh yeah, I think that's a... Well, no, don't do that, because you're going to get stuck and
They
broken.
won't even get up here, Tommy. They won't even get off the road on that first obstacle.
So, the nice thing about these tires
Yeah.
being bigger is they don't fall into the holes as much. They
No.
kind of ride the holes.
Yep.
But I don't know if it's just me, but this ride quality is a lot stiffer than the orange one.
I think it's that added damper that they put on it.
Maybe, and look, we're aired down to the same amount on both these trucks.
Yeah, it is stiffer.
This one is definitely stiffer. Now, it's got a little bit fewer miles, like 468 versus 2,000, but that's not enough to really wear out a suspension.
Actually, 4,000.
4,000? Wow, you've been driving that truck a lot.
I have been driving it.
Holy cow.
I love that truck. And speaking of that, I think this AEV is probably the most off-road worthy mid-sized truck that we've ever tested.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it. I actually shouldn't say hate to say it. I'm excited to say that if you look at the entire truck market in general,
Yep.
I'm talking everything from Maverick to Power Wagon, I'm not sure you could buy a stock truck that would get you further down a trail than an AEV ZR2 or AT4X. Just the clearance and the lockers alone make this thing kind of in a league of its own.
Yeah, I mean, people might be thinking Raptor, but a Raptor's a lot wider. And
Yeah, well-
width does matter, literally, especially out here.
Yeah, I mean, the closest second competitor to this is the Ranger Raptor. And I love the Ranger Raptor. It was a very, very capable machine. If I wanted to go fast, I would 100% take the Ranger. But in terms of crawling, I think the clearances on this are better. The standard rock rails are better. They just have done a lot of really, really impressive engineering.
Yeah, those steps on the Ranger Raptor were not good.
Yeah, to make this a really impressive machine.
Now, we did have a Gladiator that we put on 35s.
Yes, yeah.
That was good.
If you're going to modify a truck, a Gladiator, you could make into something more capable. You can go 37s easy on a Gladiator. But if you're talking straight out of the factory, it's tough to beat this thing.
And when I say any truck, I mean, you know, compact, mid-size, full-size, or heavy-duty. Like any
Yeah, that's what
truck.
I know, I said that,
Not
yeah.
just mid-size, yeah.
No, I mean anything from Maverick to Power Wagon. I think that this is about as good as it gets.
This is about, like you said, this is about as far up a trail as you can get with anything that is standard from the factory
But
without having to go to your local shop. And
you got $72,000. That's a huge amount of money, right? That's new Raptor from a few years ago, and now you're getting a much smaller truck. So there's a lot of really cool tech in this. Also, like some of the interior touches, like it says AEV in the headrest. It's got AEV floor mats, but that's big money.
Do you see the rock, the pointy rock?
Yeah, I see it.
That's where
Yeah.
your left wheel has to go.
I'll use my front camera
All right,
here.
let me get out and I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Cool, thank you.
Yep. All right, go for it. So kind of keep that front wheel where that pointy rock is.
Okay.
There you go. A little bit to your right, just a hair. Yeah, there you go. That's about the same line we took.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, go slow.
Let's see if the AEV can do it. This is where it's gonna hit. Come on. Oh, just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit of scraping, yeah.
Just less than the orange truck for sure, but there was just a teeny tap. So that's about as good as you're gonna get.
Hey Cole, look. I think this is the paint on the boron steel that came off. Tommy, $57,000 for pumpkin, $72,000 for the AEV truck. The question, of course, is would you pay $15K more for all the AEV goodies?
Well, the problem is I have no doubt there are more places that AEV could take you, but this standard AT4X is so unbelievably capable, and are you really going to risk your $57,000 investment, let alone your $72,000 investment? So I hate to say it, as cool as much as I love that look of that AEV, I think this is more than capable for everybody. So this is the truck for me.
Yeah, but here's the problem. If you were to take that and try to make it into this, it would cost you $15,000.
At least. At least, yeah.
Plus, you wouldn't have a factory warranty.
Yeah, that's right. So if you want the ultimate, buy the ultimate with the warranty. But for me, I think that this is going to do everything I'd ever wanted to do. So this is a truck for me.
So one last question. Do you think that if we take this snorkel and put it on that truck and then return that one to the fleet managers, that they would notice that we're keeping the red truck?
Well, I think there'd be a big ass hole, so there'd be something wrong there.
Well,
but
you know, I mean, off-roading there is trail damage.
let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Which one of these two do you think is worth the money? Which one would you buy? And as always has been Tommy.
And Roman saying we could always buy another snorkel and fill in the hole.
Yeah, we could. All TFL.com. We'll see you next time.
Ciao.